On the bench today, I've got this 8mm film digitizer that my father-in-law gave me. Now, I've been using it to digitize some old 8mm films, and it was working great until the other day. I was over here trying to run a film through it, and all of a sudden it started to grind, and it came to a halt and wouldn't move the film anymore. So I think we've got a stripped gear or something like that. Let's get the screwdriver out and get this thing apart, see if we can see inside and figure out what's wrong. Let's see if we can get this taken apart. It looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws on the back. I think I've got all the screws out, so hopefully this thing will pop apart now. As you may be able to tell, there's a ton of grease inside of this thing. There's a bunch slathered over here on this gear set, and then there's a bunch coming out of this gear set here, which happens to be sealed. Now, after a quick visual inspection, this gear set looks like it's okay. I don't see any broken teeth or any place where it might be skipping. This one, obviously, I can't see, so I'm going to assume the issue is in here. If I actuate it with my finger, it feels kind of like it's moving okay, but I can feel kind of a dead spot when I get to a certain point. At the moment, I've initiated the machine as if it were recording film, but there's obviously nothing on it. But I did try to inspect this gear as best I could and kind of look inside of here and look at what I could see. And I didn't see any evidence of any stripped or broken teeth. I'm going to let this run for a little while like this and see what happens. I'm suspicious that maybe something was just kind of caught and bound up in here, and just simply taking the back off and kind of exercising everything fixed the problem, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll let it run and see what happens. So this ran for a little while and just kind of did its thing, and then it all of a sudden made that grinding noise that I've heard before, and it stopped. And now this gear is kind of stuck. Well, actually I just kind of freed it up there. So something is kind of binding up right around in here. I can kind of feel it's really kind of hard. And then once I get kind of past that point, I guess it keeps continuing to bind. So it looks like I've got to take this piece off of here, or at least take this metal plate off and kind of look inside the gear train and see what we got going on in there. So it looks like this comes off of the base. There's 3 screws holding it that way, and then there's 4 littler screws that hold the metal plate onto the plastic gear train body. So I guess let's just try and take the whole thing out of here first and see how that goes. Okay, so this is definitely loose, and I've just got to kind of work it out of here, I think. So it looks like the wires are kind of holding things in. There's one connector here that's red and black that goes on the main board, and then there's another harness on the bottom here that we're going to need to deal with, plus the main motor wiring that looks like it goes off under here, under this fan, and to this larger connector back here. So there's 2 wiring harnesses and connectors on the motor body itself, and on my unit there's like a little bit of potting or something on there to keep them in place. So we're going to have to kind of work around that. Those come off, and then this is free. So I'm going to try these 4 little screws, get the backing plate off, and see what we can see in there. So I'm not sure if you can see what's going on in here or not. If I get this too close, the camera's not going to focus on it. But we've got this larger gear driving this smaller one, and when I spin this, you should be able to see this little piece here kind of moving back and forth. If I spin this over, you can see what this is. This is the film guide. This is kind of grabbing the hole in the film and advancing it. And it looks like as this spins, this kind of goes back and forth, but it also goes up and down as well. So it engages the film, pulls it forward 1 frame, and then kind of lifts up, it comes back, and then goes back into the film. So I think I've figured out what the problem was. At this point, I've put the unit back together, and I fired it up, and when I turned it on, I was getting some error messages on the screen. So full disclosure, I've actually taken this thing back apart and put it back together a few more times, thinking that I had left the connection undone. But I think I figured out what's going on, finally, after kind of studying this thing a bit more. I'll splice in a close-up here, but this particular little kind of assembly, there's a small circuit board, a connector, and what I think is a light sensor that is just kind of floating right now. This was originally inside of the gear train unit. I thought that it was kind of its own connector, but then when I initially kind of took it apart, it just kind of popped out of there. Now this was originally kind of held into the gear train unit with some potting solution. Now, I think what ended up happening is either the potting solution broke and pieces of it got in the gear train, which was what was causing it to jam up, or this thing just got out of alignment and was kind of sitting in the way of the gear train, so to speak. And that's why it was kind of intermittent. Sometimes it was fine, and then other times it wasn't. So what I ended up doing is I left it out of the gear train, but I've found that the unit doesn't really work right with it out. If I leave it just kind of dangling like this, I get an error message on the screen telling me to connect the power supply. Now what I figured out is that this is possibly a light sensor of some kind that needs to be near the film scanner head itself. Because when I kind of block the light from this, the unit will turn on and actually start recording, but then it becomes unresponsive. I can't use the buttons, I can't stop it or start it or do anything else without pulling the power off. So I think what I'm going to try and do is take this apart again and reinstall this in the gear train where it belongs and kind of re-glue it, so to speak, so that it stays there. And hopefully this thing will work after I do that. So here's a look at the little sensor board. I've put it back in the gear train where it originally was. Now you can see here, this is a piece of the potting material that was originally holding this thing on. It was just kind of gooped between the circuit board here and this screw. In fact, if I flip it over, if the camera will show it well enough, you can see the indentation of the screw head in the potting material. So that's why I think either more of this potting material was in here and broke off and got in the gear train, or just because this was loose, this thing was kind of out of alignment and kind of in the way of the gear train at times, and that's what was causing the problem. Either way, I'm going to throw away the old potting material since it's no longer any good, and I'm going to try and glue this with my own material. Now, I don't have any proper electronics potting material, but I do have this E6000 stuff, and it seems to work good for things like this. So I've got a blob of it here, and I'm just going to kind of work this down into the electronics, and hopefully that'll hold things in place. Now, I want to be careful with this that I don't get any of it in the gear train, otherwise we're going to be right back where we started. And I also want to make sure that I don't put so much in here that I can't put the lid back on the top. So I'm just going to kind of form this in here. Hopefully it'll kind of cure up and hold everything in place, and then we should be good to reassemble, and hopefully this thing will work this time. My original plan was to let this stuff harden overnight and reassemble it the next day. Well, I ended up getting pretty sick. It's been about 3 weeks since I looked at this thing. I'm still kind of getting over whatever I had. Either way, I'm going to get all these wires plugged back in if I can remember where they go, and get this reassembled, and we'll try it out and see if it works this time. I've got everything put back together. I've got it plugged in. Let's power it up and see if it works. Okay, looks like it's booting up, and that seems like a good sign. Now, even though there's no film on here, I'm going to initiate a record sequence just to see if it'll work. So as you can hear, the machine is running. I'm not hearing any kind of binding. And you can see over here, this spindle is turning. And I don't know if you can see it in the camera here, if I can get in close enough. But the film advance seems to be working. I don't hear any signs of binding up. Everything sounds like it's running smoothly. So this seemed to run okay for a little while with no film in it. Didn't bind up or make any noises. So I'm going to load some film in here and see if we can record this reel. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about the film loading process because honestly it's a bit fiddly. You have to kind of get the film underneath these little guides that are here to make sure that the film advancer picks it up, and then it's got to get kind of looped around these posts and then onto the take-up reel. And once you get the hang of it, it's okay, but the first time you do it, it's kind of fiddly and difficult to do, especially if you don't have any dexterity like me. And it seems like it's working. You can see it's advancing the film frame by frame onto the take-up reel, and as it does it, it snaps a picture of each frame and then compiles that into an MP4 in the electronics and stores it on the SD card that's in the back. So I'm going to let this thing run, and if we get a good clean record of this whole reel, I'll show it to you in the next clip. I'm not going to make you watch all of my dad's old home movie recordings But here's a sample of some footage that was shot back in the 1960s after a Girl Scout parade. Here's my three sisters, Carol, Lori, and Donna, and then my dad got in on the action afterwards too. And that old car in the background, that's a 1964 Saab 96. So we got through the reel without any problems or binding or funny noises from the machine, and as you saw in the previous clip, we got some good footage out of it. So I've got a few more of these to do and send the files off to my sisters so that they can watch the old movies that my dad recorded when they were kids. If you've made it this far in the video, let me know down below in the comments if you've ever fixed something like this. I know electronic equipment can seem a little bit daunting to try and repair, but as you saw, this thing had a mechanical problem. There was nothing wrong with the electronics. In fact, a lot of the electronic equipment I repair has problems related to some kind of a mechanical defect or problem rather than something wrong with the electronics. So I always try to encourage people, if they've got something like this that's broken, try and take a look at it and see if you can fix it before you immediately throw it in the dumpster and buy a new one. Just work safely if you do. As you are no doubt aware, electricity can be dangerous and you can get hurt if you're not careful. Anyway, having said all that, I hope you enjoyed the video today. 7-3 if you're a ham, and thanks for watching.